Hello, welcome to another segment geospatial tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to segment a large image with batch processing using text prompt and also the segment anything model. First, let's go to the website, say samgeo.gshub.org. The link is also in the description below. In the previous video, I already showed you how to do segmentation using text prompt. For example, in this example, you can segment trees. Just type in trees and then specify the parameters. You should be able to segment trees out of the area imagery. The problem is that if you're trying to segment this in a large area at a city level or country level, this is not doable because you need to basically have a large GPU to be able to process a large image. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to separate the images the image into smaller tiles, and then you segment each tile. At the end, you can merge the result back as a single raster. So in this way, you can overcome a smaller GPU. Of course, if you have a GPU, you can also do it in GPU, CPU, but GPU is much faster. Okay, so next, let me go to the notebook examples, and then click text prompts batch. Once you're here, you can click this link to open this one in Google Colab. So it's fairly straightforward. What we're trying to do here is to download the examples. You can download the imagery for any area you like, and then we're going to split the imagery into smaller tiles. After that, we're going to do text prompt, and then we're just going to call this function called predict batch, and that's it. So it's going to just provide input directory, and then it's going to segment all the images within the directory and then get the result, and then finally merge the result. So allow you to merge that as a single raster. So in this way, you can do it at a pretty large area. Once you open the notebook in Google Colab, so make sure that you using the GPU. So what you want to do is go to runtime and then click change runtime type. Here, make sure that you select GPU. Otherwise, by default, it's going to be none. It's going to use the CPU. It's pretty slow. And once you open this one in Google Colab, then you can click upper right corner here to show the RAM, disk, and GPU. So you will be able to see how much your program is using the GPU. And for this notebook, it works fine. So, but if you're doing it a much larger area, it might exceed the GPU memory. Okay, so first you need to click uncomment this one. So just control slash and then uncomment this one. Then you should be able to install the packages. Make sure that after installation, restart the kernel because some of the packages need to be restarted. So I'm going to click this one, clear the outputs, and then go to runtime, restart runtime. So otherwise, some of those might not work. Once you restart runtime, then just click import the libraries. So we're going to use leaf map to display the imagery. We're also going to use the TMS to GeoTIFF. In this function, it downloads the imagery from all kind of base maps. We're also going to input the split raster, so they can use to split a large image into smaller tiles. And lastly, we're going to import the length SAM. So this one is using the text prompt-based segmentation. Once we import the library, then we can create a map. So we're going to specify this area in South America, and then the zoom level and the height of the map. And we're going to add the satellite-based map. So you can see this is the area that we're going to do the segmentation. Of course, you can move it to any area you like. And once you find the area, zoom in and zoom out. So here, let me move this one to the right a little bit so you can see it. You can select any area you like. So I'm just going to click the drawing tools, and then from here I can just select the area, something like this. Don't make it too big because the GPU might exceed you might not have enough GPU. So once you select the rectangle, the next step is download imagery. So this code block essentially is going to get the bounding box that you just draw. If you don't draw anything, it's going to use the default bounding box that I specify. So I'm going to click this one, and then let me comment this one here. I'm just going to use the previous one because I might already download the imagery, but you can just run the code block. So I'm going to use this bounding box that I created, and then I'm going to just download the imagery. So you specify the file name, and then I'm going to output the imagery. So this is where you're going to save the imagery as image.geo.tif, and then the bounding box is the one that I specify here, or you can use the one that usual. Specify the zoom level. So even if it's the same area, this is the Google setup base map. So the larger the zoom level, the more images is going to download. I'm going to overwrite. So you can see in total there are 209 image types, and then once it's done, it's going to merge this one as image.tif. If you click on the left side, you should be able to see this one under the directory here. Once you have the imagery, now we can add the imagery. So use the add raster imagery, and then the layer name is going to add that one to the map. So see here, let me clear the rectangle. So you see this is the imagery that I downloaded, and with this now we are going to do the segmentation. So if you're trying to segment this one all at once, it's probably going to take too much GPU, so it doesn't work in this case, and this is why we need to subdivide it into smaller pieces. This function is used to split the raster. So split raster, and passing the image we want to split, where you want to output all the tiles. So we're going to output to the tiles directory. For each tile, we're going to specify the number of pixels. So this is 100 rows, one X and Y. So this is basically width and height. Okay, so 100 by 1000 by 100 1000 pixels. It doesn't have to be square, so you can specify different width and height. Also, you can specify the overlap. Sometimes depends on the object you're going to segment. If at the edges, so along the border of each tile, the accuracy sometimes is not going to be high. It's going to miss some of those. So if you want to be high accuracy, try to specify overlap. For example, here 50, 100, something like that. Depends on the object they want to detect. So the overlap should be usually larger than the object you want to detect. So in that case, if it's missing on one tile, it's going to be captured in the other tile because it has overlap. And once you split the raster, it's going to put it under the folder. So now if you click on the left side, we have I'm not sure how many. You can check the number of files. So probably 15, 16 files in total. With all the tiles, now we're going to do the segmentation of each one, and this is what we need to do. So we're going to initialize length same, and this is where you start going to use GPU. On the right here, you can see the RAM. You can also see the GPU RAM. Right now, it's still not yet, but when you start doing the segmentation, you're going to use a lot more GPU. You see, it's increased a little bit, but it's not too much. Once you initialize the length same class, then we're going to use the text prompt. So the text prompt here, it depends on the imagery. So in this case, we're going to use the tree, but you can do buildings, you can do water, you can do pretty much anything you like. But the result might not always be good. So you just need to be pay attention to, because it's not perfect. But at least you save some time that you don't need to do any training. So it's, in this case, doing the tree segmentation, it does it pretty well. On the right here, you see now we already use GPU 4.1 gigabyte of GPU RAM, because you're going to load the model into the memory, the GPU RAM. So the model itself is like 2 gigabyte, and you need to make sure that you have several times of the size of the model and also the imagery that you're processing, because there are a lot of intermediate steps. Once we have the length same class and also all the images, what we need to do is to use this one. So same.predict batch. If you only just doing one imagery, you're going to use same predict, and this is essentially the previous video. If you go to text prompts, scroll down all the way to the end. So this one is using the where is it? Same.predict. So the function parameters are pretty much the same, except that now instead of passing in on imagery, we are passing in a directory. So you can pass in a list of file paths, or you can just pass in the directory name, the file path, the directory path. So in this case, we're going to pass in all the tiles. Output, so where you want to create the output folder to save because each tile you're going to have one prediction, so you're going to have multiple predictions in this directory. And the text prompt, we're going to use trees. Then you're going to separate, use box threshold, text threshold. So these two parameters, you can see the explanation here. Basically, the values range from 0 to 1. The larger the value, the higher the criteria, the fewer number of objects you're going to detect. The smaller the number, the more objects you're going to detect. So what you want is that if you are detecting, say once you get the result, if the result is too overwhelming, then probably you want to increase the value. If there's like only a few objects or even no object, you get any errors, then you want to decrease this number. So basically smaller number, more objects, higher values, fewer objects. And also the mass multiplier, this one basically is going to multiply the result. So because the result is binary, either 0 and 1. So if the 0 multiplied by 255 is still 0, but this 1 multiplied by 255 is going to be 255. So in that case, the output result, if you display any open the file using any image viewer, you're going to see the white color. Basically, it's black and white. If the 0 and 1, you will most likely see all black because most of those using the RGB to render. So the value range from 0 to 1. So this is basically just for visualization. If you want to be 0 and 1, then you just change this mass multiplier to be 1. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to use 255. Also the output type. This one, because the value is only ranging from 0 to 255, so we can use the unsigned integer 8. If you want to be 32 or 64, it's up to you. But usually, if you only have binary, then this is good. Also, if you want to merge the results, because we segment each tile, and then if you want to merge the result back as a single raster, then you specify merge equal to true. Then you want to get merge.t. Also, the variables equal to true means you want to show the progress. So now let's run this one. Take a look. Right. In total, we have 15 images, and now you start doing the segmentation using the segment NEC model. And this is going to use a lot of GPU on the right here. Take a look. So 6 thumb RAM. So this was CPU on the right here, showing the GPU. And when it's doing the segmentation, you're going to use more and more GPU. The first one, the second one, and hopefully it doesn't exceed. You see now on the right, it's jumping up. It's using already 10 gigabytes. So we have 15 gigabytes. Usually, the reason that we split into smaller tiles because once you finish one segmentation, and then it's going to it's going to clean up the GPU and then being used by others. You see, we are using 14.4, so it's almost exceeding the memory. Hopefully, it will finish. Otherwise, the kernel will stop, and then you need to restart and then run maybe on a small area. Just let you know, don't try on a huge area. Even though you can split into smaller tiles, it's still going to use quite a number of memory. So here, it stays at 14.4, and we are almost done. Okay, good. Now we've finished. So on the left side here, we click mask. We have the mask of each tile, and we also have the final merge one. So this is exactly what we want. If you hover, it's only like 11.12 megabyte, and the original imagery is 23.2. Of course, you can do it at a much larger area, but it's still going to use quite a number of GPU memory. Okay, once you have the result, now we can load the raster back to the map. So this is just a JPEG here, and you can choose the color map and also display the node data, because otherwise you're going to use black and white. So you need to make sure that you specify the node data and also the layer, and then add the layer manager. So take a look. This is what we have. It's the final result, and so the yellow color represent trees, and also you see the background imagery. And if you turn this one on, oops, looks like something is wrong. So the layer doesn't turn off. If you run this one on a local computer, it works just fine. So, but at least you can see the result in here. Layer. Let me see if it works. The other one here. Okay, this one works. So probably just this one, the button doesn't work. Let me turn off this one. So again, you can, oops, you can click here and then click the layer manager. So this one here allows you to change it. And now take a look. You can be able to see, change the opacity. If the result is not perfect, you can change the parameters, the box threshold, and also the text threshold. So increase the number if there are too many objects, decrease the number if there are field object. And again, it does sometimes the image doesn't show up. This is just a Google Colab issue. If you run it on a local computer, it should be pretty smooth. And okay, so that's what I want to show you. You are welcome to try it out on your own data, or use other area of your interest, and then try to see how does the algorithm perform. Certainly, there's still room for improvement, but if you want to do some quick segmentation, this is, I think, something you can try it out. And just open it Google Colab. You don't need to install anything on a computer, and give it a try and let me know if you like it or not. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.